Hello and welcome to Angliss Reserve here for the 2022, that's right, the 2022 State League Women's Grand Final. Footscray taking on Newport. My name is Lachlan Williams, soon to be joined by Jess Symonds. Just over to the side for a second. We're just about to get underway. We've got Lacrosse Victoria General Manager Michael Sholly just getting our welcomes going for the moment. We'll see if we can catch into what Michael is saying, and we'll be back with you in a second.
And our officials for today. First of all, the officials, I'll welcome one at a time. Amy Bazile. Belinda Douglas. And a round of applause to Leanne Gibbon. Thank you. Congratulations. Also, Chrissy Palmer is on the bench for the ladies. Thank you. I'd welcome Footscray Lacrosse Club, led by Vice Captain Beck Lane. All of you come.
Just as Footscray enter the field of play for their lineup before we get started, we'll welcome Jess on board.
Hello,
Jess,
everybody. Hey, good. Sorry, I was just finishing a nice chicken schnitzel roll, courtesy of Footscray Lacrosse Club.
Fantastic. How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty tasty, actually. Fresh, crispy. That's what you want in a chicken schnitzel roll.
This is Newport make their way out onto the
Looks
field of
like
play.
led by Rashan, by the looks of it. Looks like we've got a few players in tracksuits. I think there's been a few injuries, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, for both sides.
It's a side effect potentially of the shortened season.
Yeah.
I think a credit, while we're here, Jess, just a credit to Lacrosse Victoria for pushing through and getting the women's season up and running and finished by the middle of June.
Yes, it was a tough one. But a really good thing that we got everyone done. I think people actually really enjoyed having the shortened season. 9 games, 4 teams, and also in the lead up we've got the Nationals next week. And we've got then the girls heading off to the World. So it's a pretty exciting time. And we'll just be singing the national anthem now. And we've got Billy.
Great job there from Billy, as she always does.
Yes, I know. She's becoming a bit of a local here on the lacrosse pitch.
So just before we get started, Jess, we'll just run through the teams today. Footscray, pretty full lineup by the looks of it. I think there's nearly a full 16 there.
Yeah, and to be honest, they've been out the whole season. They haven't even had a bench a lot of matches. So good to see them with a full kit out. We've lost Esther Lavelle in the last match of the season, which was a big shame. She was obviously the captain, so really gutting for her team. Hopefully they can do the win for her.
For sure, and on the Newport side of things, this is their squad. Probably a couple missing from that by the looks of it, though. So what do you make of this match, Jess? Obviously, Footscray gone through the season unbeaten so far, but grand finals can produce anything.
I'll be honest, I was sceptical when we watched the Susafanis round, which was the last match of the season. But Newport fought the whole way through and they came back and it was a really close match. So I think tonight can be anyone's game. I think whoever comes out of the blocks fastest is going to have the upper hand, and then I guess it's going to be cat and mouse to the end.
Fantastic. Well, you'll probably have me for potentially about a quarter and a bit, Jess. So we'll see.
We'll see. We might be having too much fun, and then you'll be stuck there.
We'll see how we go. Just about to get underway in this 2022 State League Women's Grand Final. Footscray looking to defend their title. Newport looking to bring it back home for the black and yellow.
Oh, I feel tense now. This is exciting.
There's a little bit of hush over the crowd, isn't it?
It is. It's a beautiful night as well. Great ground set up. We've got Beck Lane and Taylor Cumdo in the centres. And here we go for the start of the grand final. Nice, clear, no possession made. We've got an offside call by Leanne, the ref over there. The ball is going to go to the Footscray.
Of course, our goalies tonight, Paige McGibbon in the cage for Footscray, Molly Dunham in the cage for Newport. So
yeah, both goalies have had a really ripper of a season. They've it's been good to kind of see some of the perhaps more experienced goalies. Kind of we know that Brie Hussey is off having a baby at the moment, so opportunities for the young goalies in Victoria, and we've got a lot of them, which is awesome. First shot there by Sarah Smith, it looks like, and it goes wide.
Looks like Footscray with the backup, so they'll get another chance at it now.
We're just kicking it round. Footscray looking pretty comfortable now. They're playing two behind here. Theo with a dodge. Gets a stick on it. It looks like there was a stick there by Taylor.
We've got a whistle out there, so we'll wait and see what the call is now. Could you make out what that one is for, Jess?
No. And I should, because I do some officiating myself. I don't think we call them umpires anymore, do we?
Yeah, officials, I believe, is the generic
officiating.
term. So looks like Sarah Smith's going to have the first golden chance for the opening
She
goal of
runs
the
it
grand
in.
final.
And it's a save by Molly.
It's a great confidence booster for the goalie,
Absolutely.
young goalie early on.
I think it's good to see that Newport are holding their own here. They're not straight in there by Sarah Mollison, it was, sorry. There's a flag go up, so we're going to be taking it back to the foul. Apologies, no, sorry. The shot was taken, so the flag goes down, and the ball is still in possession of Footscray because it went over the bounds after a shot. That was a nice little look in the centre there. And we've got, so it looks like Newport are able to knock it down, but they just haven't been able to come up with the ball when it has hit the ground.
I think both sides wouldn't be too upset by this start so far,
No, I
as
think
Sarah Molson just runs herself into some trouble. Footscray with plenty of possession, and Newport just, well, they haven't had the ball yet, so plenty of defence, but
good to see they're not panicking, they're just holding really solid. They're not putting a lot of pressure on the ball yet, they don't want to do that yet.
I think we'll say it'll be important once they do get possession that they make the most of that chance when they go forward. Sarah Mollison.
Another shot, another save by Molly. And I think that's Abby, apologies, I don't know her surname, but she's one of the younger players at Newport, and she's doing really well. So she picks it up and she clears it. Yeah, Abby Burns. So she picks it up and she cleared it back into Molly. The ball is still with goalie. She looks pretty confident. She's coming out now. She's going to make a shot. Jane White's got the ball moving down the centre. And Jem Plum coming down now. And now we get to have a look at what's Newport got in their attacking tank. Unfortunately, I think we've got a... I'm afraid I can't even see what that call is now.
Yeah, I missed that one as well. Sorry, Jess, but...
It's all right, ball still with Newport up the top. Elise Hussey. Good crash there by Theo. Looks in the middle for Shaylee Stringer. And cleared up by Beck Lane. That's something you do not want to see, Beck Lane, on your tail anywhere near the ball. She has been absolutely phenomenal this season. Can't wait to see her when she heads over to the States. That's much easier. I've just been pointed out there's a screen in front of me rather than having to look over the fans in the crowd.
It's great to see so many people down here.
Yeah, it is. And it's a blimmin' cold night for those sitting at home. I know I had a few messages there. Someone having a glass of wine. Cheers to you. Much rather be tucked up watching from home tonight, but for those who have made it, braved out the cold, it's awesome to see them here. And Footscray just going to slow it down here. They can't get that fast break, so it's still neck and neck by the looks of it, which is a really good sign of things to come.
Probably a sign of a mature team.
Yes.
Jess, that definitely don't need to panic with still plenty of time.
Yeah.
No need to put the foot down right now. Take some air out of it.
Yeah.
The longer they make Newport play defence, the harder it'll be to hold them out.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, the year when we got the world, Mollison drives on the right now. She gets through and she takes the first shot. That's the first score. Footscray 1, Newport 0. Sarah Mollison. That was a brilliant drive from her. She managed to come back inside onto the right, clean shot to goal.
So many times we've seen Sarah Mollison do that. It's just, you'd hate to think how many times that she would have done that over her career. And just that explosive step, it's really hard to defend.
Yeah, having been on the receiving end of that a number of times, trying to change direction when you're in between her and the goal is pretty tough. I mean, having said that, I think nowadays the Footscray team, you've got a number of them you would never really want to be lined up with. I think really good, though, is what we've seen in Victoria. For those who are listening outside, this year we had a Vic Selects team to make up the 4-team State League, and that team was invited from any players, I guess, across the state who don't have a State League team, but also invited younger players who want to get extra matches, extra skills, and the exposure they got to these players is just, you can see it in leaps and bounds. Like, there's a few players out here who are playing Vic Selects quite a lot. Prentice, who else can I see? That Abby Burns, Ebony from Footscray. There's just a lot of people, and they just look comfortable now against the girls. And even playing in that Vic Selects team myself, it was just people like Beck Lane and Sarah Mollison, and people who you look up to and you admire, and who are, the big names in lacrosse, especially, the best we've got in this country. The way that they were helping and mentoring the younger players, it was just incredible. It was just such a pleasure to be a part of. A bit of a flip of the table here as we're into the Newport attacking. Looks like we've got a free shot at goal by Taylor Comedo.
First real chance here for the Porters.
Just takes it low, and it's a good save by Paige. Followed in by the Footscray just to make sure that it's safe. And it's an out early, just a low, and it's coming up the wing. Sarah Mollison in control there. No fast break though, they move to settle. You can even hear from where I'm sitting the Footscray players calling just for that settle, just for that calm, get that control. Theo Quaz. How many times we've seen her little stutter step just burn the players, not just then though. Beck Lane at the top, she'd look to her to drive. Easy, they're picking those crashes. Oh, brilliant shot, brilliant look. I think that's the difference when you've got the players who are taking the drive, but instantly they're looking, who's that free player, moves the ball quick, and a super finish there by Sarah Mollison.
And there's not really an easy out for the Newport defence either. Everywhere you look, there's just players everywhere.
Yeah, and I think they've got to crash early, like then they sent 2 to Beck Lane, but I think they've got to do that to get one up them and try and get that ball.
So a positive start from Footscray, plenty of possession, 2 goals on the board early, but Newport's defence holding up well enough.
We're already at, what's that, 6 minutes left?
Of course, we're not keeping the clocks here, so we haven't heard any clocks stopped at all out there. But so we're not the official timekeepers, but we're pretty close to it.
Yes. Nor are we the officials, but I'm sure we've got opinions on them. Try and share it quietly, perhaps. Really high draw there. It's a real contest in the centre at the moment. It looks like Taylor and Beck are just taking the centres. The last match we watched between these 2 players, we had Stacey in the centre, and it didn't look like either player was able to gain control, and it seems to be the same way tonight. So probably see how that shapes up across the evening. Sasha Polentz with the clear there. She's managed to get the ball, but unfortunately she hasn't been able to hold on to it.
Would have been an important ground ball, that one, just to take that, make it a short Footscray possession, but they do get the ball back and get to go to the goal again. Just Mollison and Lane just having a piece of their own at the top, but good defence on Mollison
Great
there.
stick then.
Can we see a fast
Who's
break
that?
here?
She's
Great
managed
attack
to
on the ball
recover.
from all
Great
players.
attack, yeah. It's Jane White there.
Jen Plum just takes it behind and just looks like she wants
Thinks
to settle
she's going to
things
get
down.
the call. She wants the call. Look at her put her arm up. It's Stacey Wright on her. She's a solid defender. She'll be with that Lacrosse Victoria contingent at Nationals coming up. And big crash there by Footscray.
Good collapsing defence there. Cover the hole, but Taylor Cometto looks to get around again. Feeds the top side. The shot just wide.
Good lead there by Shaylee Stringer. She hasn't managed to sink it in the back of the net, but I have no doubt we will see some goals from her. She is ripping those shots at the moment. It is just awesome to see.
Yeah, managed to see her a couple of times in the
Yeah.
selects and just an absolute wrecking ball down there.
Yeah.
Plenty of speed, plenty of firepower. It was great to watch.
She's one who's really just come in leaps and bounds, I guess, playing at Newport and learning from them. She reminds me a little bit of Hayley Stefanis in a way. She's kind of picking up those awesome shots, awesome leads, very strong player. Yeah, it'd be great to see how she goes. She's heading off with the under-23 Aussie team. Now we're at Footscray. Got the ball down in their attack, kicking it round again very confidently. It's a call there. We've got 3 seconds, it sounds like. I think was the call. That's against Sasha Polent. And Theo Quaz is going to take the free shot. I think the hardest thing now with all the free movement is where you set up as defence and also as attack from these 3 shots. It's a lot more tactical. You've got to think it through.
Yeah, for sure.
Big save there by Molly. That's going to be a huge confidence booster. I believe Molly is looking to go into the police academy.
Really?
So watch out, everybody. Not only is she going to be keeping the goal, she'll be keeping us safe on the streets.
Fantastic.
Big clear there by Jen
Great
Plum.
outlet there.
Great take. She clips it over. Can't quite get that pass. And that's what's going to be the difference today, I reckon. There's those clinical... We need the clinical passes, clinical takes. Otherwise, Footscray are going to punish them.
We did see that high press on the clear there from Footscray though, so if Newport can move the ball quickly and perhaps get out the back, that could potentially be an avenue to goal.
Yes. Yeah, and they do. They do put a lot of pressure on the ball, especially down the down on the right through the centre. I'm just putting some gloves on because my hands. Although to be honest, it was looking at you rub your hands. I was like, oh, I've got gloves.
Yes, I'm making a mistake and I'm taking the gloves tonight. But we had an excruciatingly cold night during the week. I think it was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We were here for training, and that was awful. So I'm just glad it's not as bad
Some
tonight.
Arctic winds, apparently.
Our players not showing any signs of issues in there. Emily Prentice lets one go, beats Molly Dunham. So all of a sudden, we're out to a 3-goal lead for Footscray. Just quite a tall player. Emily Prentice got the long arms and can use that to advantage. Really get above players cutting through that crease.
Absolutely, and she did right there. It's just the timing, I think, the way the Footscray players are working together. They just know each other so well when to move off ball. And that's a perfect example of that. Curious to see where the centre goes. But all the centres to now have just gone straight up. There's been kind of no which way about them. No one's come out cleanly with it. Newport are choosing to play 2 back, so they might be confident that Taylor can come up with the ball here. And it has got the foul's gone against Footscray. So Taylor Komodo has got the ball from the centre. Fouls against Beck Lane, probably a pre-check on that one.
So we've got about 10 seconds on our clock, Jess. So I can see
Okay.
the clock is on the
They're gonna
field on
take
the other
it.
side.
Ooh.
Shots on, save there.
That's got to kill. They would have wanted that goal going into the break.
So they'll need to get
Pressuring
a
it
shot
right
off
to the
quickly
end.
here, Newport.
Shaley with the ball. They've got to get the shot off. And they get the shot off, but it's another save by Paige McGibbon.
Both goalies
And
making a great start to
first
this.
quarter. How about that? It is 3-0 to Footscray. They certainly have felt like they've had the control, they've had the upper hand, but you would have thought they would have been like to be a few more in front.
Yeah, that 15 minutes of the first quarter, they would have played close to 12 or 13 of it in their end of the field. And
Yeah.
when it did go down the other end, Newport with a couple of chances, but Paige McGibbon stepping up big time, and really that could have been a momentum swinger there as they headed into the break. But
Yeah, a few big saves from both goalies. Both ends, I think, have kept them both in it, kept it close. 3 goals, though, that's nothing. We've still got a long way to go.
Yes, exactly right. We might take a quick break and we'll be back with you very shortly for the second quarter.
Welcome back. We are here, ready for the second quarter. Hope you following on at home have got a drink in your hand. I think things are going to get spicy.
That's it. Just a quick word of warning. They've got a couple of robots in our comments section, so they're posting a couple of mischievous links. So don't be worrying about those.
Yes.
You're watching the
wow.
match live here, so we'll plough on. So if you're Newport, Jess, how do you think they go about trying to get back into this game?
Ooh, it's interesting
just
to see
chipping
the
away back
last
into
centre. They backed Taylor, but it doesn't look like it's coming our way. So we've got Sarah Smith pulling it in. I think they've got to... it's a huge shot
great
there.
save.
Sarah Mollison looks like she's on good form today.
Yeah, she's certainly a player that doesn't leave anything in the tank, Sarah. She always goes out there, plays at 100%.
Yeah.
You never dies wondering. So
No. Sorry, to go back to your question before, how can Newport come back from here? I think the things that we saw in the last quarter, the first quarter for those who didn't see, was really, although it was 3-0, they held them out. There wasn't a huge amount happening. There wasn't a huge amount of people who were able to cut through. So I think they need to do that. The difference is that when Footscray have the ball, they're able to convert. And Newport just seems to have a little bit messy in terms of their transition down the field, and so they have to tighten that. They cannot do that. Footscray are a team who will punish you if you make any mistakes. They will pick it up and they will have it to their advantage.
definitely. Bit of a lucky one there from Newport. Molly
Yeah.
Dunham really patient with the clear, but a drop pass in the middle of the field. They end up coming up with the ground ball though, so they do get the offensive set now.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. Look like Sasha Pollins has done a lot of work. She's done a lot of the heavy lifting. She always does. She's a real grubber, as they say, on the floor, getting those ground balls. Huge pressure. Shelley's taking it all the way around then.
Looks like the message was clear from Megan Mollison at quarter time. Keep pushing out, keep applying that pressure, get the ball back quickly. So
it's great D here by Sarah Mollison. Taylor Kamado had the whole right-hand side of that fan, and she couldn't make anything in.
it's probably one of the longest sets they've had Newport, but they just didn't get time to settle at all. Just
and again,
Footscray
you just
pushing
see
out.
just a slightly just unforced errors there that are just causing turnovers, and we'll see what Footscray can make here. Theo Cos is fit and fast at the moment. God, she's been working hard. She just blazes past her defender then. Prentice at the top now.
Just covers the ground so easily, and makes it look like she's just gliding on top of the surface. She's one of the better ones to watch. As Beck Lane drives now, gets a shot off, but
again a big save by Molly, was it? Or was it missed behind? Either way, very unlike Beck Lane to be missing shots. So you know they're under a bit of pressure, so they feel they're not getting those shots easily. And they're just going to look here to slow it, control it, set themselves up.
On that substitution, or just rotate through the midfield. Sarah Smith has found herself open and hits the back of the net.
You could just see her then. She knew she wanted it. She came in, she subbed in, and she said, I'm going to take the shot, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, just really smart lacrosse there.
Yeah.
Newport just a little slow to get those
React,
players back from defence into offence, and Sarah took advantage of that.
Yeah, and I think a few times in the season we've seen, especially Footscray, they're kind of working in pairs from the top. A lot of their goals are coming from the top, and they're coming from drives. And you see then that both Sarah's kind of working together to get that shot off, and play is in their advantage. Another centre here. So both teams have chosen to keep with their centre draws. And it comes up, Sarah Smith's driving down the side. Top to Beck Lane, back up the top to Theo. And we're going to get a 3-second call there, I think. It's a shame, but I don't think Newport are going to be too upset by that call, because it means that they're there and they're getting themselves in the game. Another huge save.
Good cover there from Molly Dunham.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, they just haven't been able to get the shots in the back of the net. Molly's kind of kept them in the game for the time being.
It's one of those things in grand finals that you can see that, you know, potentially you really got to capitalise when you're on top, because you can never guarantee that the momentum's going to stay your way for the full match. It's probably going to swing at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's another flag there. Just there, Koss drove to goal. Shot was wide.
Looks like Newport are just stepping up the pressure. Can't quite see, but I think they're playing a zone, do they? We've got another 3 shot. Let's see if Molly can save this one.
Just a little miscommunication there from our officials, I think. I think Theo was expecting the whistle from one and came from the other, but we'll go again.
Sticks her up. And she takes the shot.
Off
she
this
gets
time.
it this time.
Too good of a player, Theo Koss, to...
Let 2 get saved in a row.
Yeah. So, you just can't give her that many chances.
What a gorgeous headshot. Looks like it was from her college days. Yeah. How does she end up with that one? Everyone else has got this much fresher one, shall we say. So also, I guess we're all getting excited now for the Nationals. Anyone interstate? We're looking forward to getting you over here. And I think people are blooming excited, because that was the first national event we've had in 2 years, I think.
Yeah, probably the 2019 under 15 nationals potentially. So
super exciting.
quite a while.
going to be strange because if you think, although our Australian contingent have played, we'll just take a break to see if Taylor can make anything of that drive. Nice centre possession from her. Let's see if they can control it. You see Footscray just putting the pressure on. They're not sagging off waiting. Shaylee Stringer wanted to take the shot, the pass quickly there, but she's being pulled out. You have to return to the place where the foul took place.
If they move the ball quickly here, they're in with a chance. So another great save there from Paige
She moves to the
McKibben.
left hand just to get her stick out the way of the defenders, but unfortunately that shot hasn't come off. It was a good crack though. But they're still in the control. Let's see what they can do now. And another... Shaylee comes up with it then. Shaylee Stringer. Stringer shoots and she scores. That's a great shot there. I think it was almost from the 11. She's not afraid of taking those shots from out there. You don't want to give her an inch. If you're defending her, a player like Shaylee Stringer, she's going to take those shots, so you need to be on her hip the whole time. The minute you back off, she's going to take that shot, and she did just then.
And probably just a good example of that second chance there. They nearly turned it over, regain the ground ball, get that another chance at it. And
Let's
just
see if they can get some
the
momentum
more
now.
opportunities they have at the goal, it's, the math suggests
Yes.
that the more they're going to put in the back of the net. So on the board.
Yep. Let's see if they can just pick that momentum and keep going. I mean, we should mention that Newport, obviously, we spoke about earlier about Esther Laval getting a knee injury in the last match of the season, but we've probably got 3 of Newport's star players sitting on the bench here, all with injuries. Stacey Morlang, Hayley Stefanis and Rachel Kersheimer. So that's obviously got to hurt. That's got to hurt.
Exactly right. 3 of the
Beck
more
Lane at the
experienced
top.
players there as Beck
Early
Lane
crash
just
there, and
steps
there's
down.
an easy call for Amy, the official there. Just shooting space call on Sasha. And another shot missed by Beck Lane. So we've got, it went wide, but Footscray are going to come up with the ball and come back. So Newport not putting as much pressure on the ball. Huge intercept there by Rashawn Brady. It's going to be a foul. That looked like a push to me as well. Good call.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that many calls by the officials yet.
No, not at all. Just doing things the hard way a little bit at the moment, Newport. But
Yeah.
if they can just grind it out, just as we were saying before, fight their way back into it.
Ooh.
Oh, big drive there, a lot of
And
contact.
I would agree. Although no, that. So we've got Elise Hussey here. She's got the free possession. It's not a great placement of where she wants to be. She'd obviously want to be a little bit further in, and she takes it. She gets crashed early, and she gets another free shot. But this time it is at the top of the
it's a
centre.
better
So let's
angle
see what she
now.
can do. We had a really good crash there from Footscray, but unfortunately coming off the foul.
They collapsed well there, Footscray. We'll see if maybe Elise goes for a bit of an earlier shot here.
Yeah, I think she will. At the centre, here we go.
Straight away, finds that top right
Yes.
corner, and they're up and about now, Newport.
And the score is now 5-2, and just like that, we're back to a 3-goal difference. Elise Hussey with the goal there. Just shows a little bit of patience. They can draw those fouls, and they can make grounds in that.
Yeah, capitalising on possession as well when you get the ball down there.
Yeah.
Not having it come back over your head with interest too many times, just being able
Yeah.
to hit the scoreboard or maintain that possession, and they've been able to do that so far.
So we've obviously got nationals next week, and a lot of these players are going to be on that team. And what I was going to say earlier is that we haven't seen any, I guess, interstate matches for some time. And obviously South Australia and West Australia are going to give it a hot crack. But I don't know, with the amount of players that are in the Australian squad and looking at the form they're on, I think they're going to be tough competition to beat. They're going to have
Yes.
huge targets on the back, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So that's all here at Footscray. So a little bit of a taster from what
Exactly
you can
right.
expect with the grounds. The grounds are looking fabulous. And that begins next week.
Sure
so I
does.
believe
Starts on
so, the
Wednesday.
8th,
So
there you go. 8th of June, I believe.
good defence there from Footscray, and you'll be able
Cleared it
to
up there.
tune in. I believe we'll be streaming in a lot of it. We'll just get away from this for a sec. As
Great lead
clear.
and great take by Ebony.
A nice little bit of maturity there from Ebony, rather than
Yeah.
pulling the trigger. Let's just settle down.
And that's what I mean. A few of these players, they just feel like they've been in this side for years, and they've actually only, I think some of them, most of them, it's their first season, I think, the ones we're referring to anyway.
Definitely.
Footscray are going to come back up with the ball here, and Prentice has got it in the back corner.
So back lane now at the top. Kicks to Sarah Smith, who likes the look and has a drive.
She comes back in on her left, and she gets the free space.
So Molly with a couple of big saves. We'll just wonder whether that gets into the back of the Footscray players' heads a little bit here. Makes them think about where they're going to put the ball. But great placement there from
Really
Sarah
smart.
Smith.
Sometimes you don't need the huge power shots. You just need the little finesse. We were talking about this the other day. Just the finesse to get it in the back of the net.
Probably just sums up a class player.
Yeah.
They probably all are class players out there. But just to have that in the back of your head, not panic. No, right. Molly's made a couple. We've sent a couple wide, but let's just pick the spot and put it there. That's exactly what she did.
So we come in for another centre draw. Again, we still... Looks like Becklane's gone off. Potentially, maybe she's got an injury of some sort. Maybe it's a blood injury or something. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly a blood rule, maybe.
Yeah.
Just
And
feels
Footscray
like
have
the
come
last
up with
couple have come up the way. Footscray in the middle, Jess.
They're going to the Newport side, but just Sarah Smith is just too good on that wing. The way her reaction time, and where she safely takes that ball is just too much for Newport at the moment. They'll have to work on that, getting a different matchup potentially on the line. Theo comes in with a dodge. She goes back again. She takes a shot. And
save.
good save there by Molly.
Collected her own work though, Theo. She drives back around,
Yeah.
feeds a crease. Collected from Ebony Norman. Emily Prentice now has a look inside, sees Ebony Norman, but just on the wrong side of her, so
Yeah.
probably a donation back to Molly Dunham.
Yeah. I don't think that was a hard shot to save, unfortunately, for Ebony. And there we go. We are half-time here at Angliss Reserve, and we are 6 to Footscray, Newport 2.
Yes, it's Footscray right on top at the moment, Jess, but
Yeah.
they take
it's only four
take a
in
bit of
it.
stock out of that Newport,
Yeah.
so
But I think that's exactly what happened in the last match of the season, and then Newport came fighting back. So it's all still to play for, that's for sure.
well, as they say, the third quarter is the Premiership quarter, so
Is it? Who says that? That's a great one. Okay.
still plenty to play
Have
for.
to see some stats
That's
there.
We might we'll take a quick break and
Awesome.
we might go warm our hands up, and we'll
Yes.
be back very shortly
Get
for
a beer. See you
the
soon.
second half.
Welcome back. Here we are at the second half of the Lacrosse Victoria Women's State League final, and we've got Footscray 6, Newport 2. I think we're in for things will start ramping up now. Things will start heating up, and we'll just see which side it is comes from. Again, no changes on the centre draw. Beautifully picked up by Thea Quaz there. She runs it down. Now I have sitting next to me a beautiful silver trophy. It's larger than you think. It's for the best player on ground.
I was about to say, yeah, it's,
that's pretty exciting.
Different feet inside. I think that's
have a think about people at home. Maybe put in the comments, who do you think the best player on ground so far? Who needs this trophy that's sitting next to me? Footscray in control on the start of the second half. It's probably exactly where they started in the first half. Let's see if they can keep that momentum. Another stick there by Rashawn Brady.
And if my eyes don't deceive me, Jess, I believe that's one Rachel Kirchheimer
Oh,
taken to the field for the first time.
How did she sneak in there? It's so good to see her back on the field. She's had a few injuries recently, so awesome to see her. We'll see if she can have an impact in this game. No doubt she can.
Probably tells you what it means for
Newport. They're not going to back down without a fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many commitments coming up. The Australian team first and foremost.
Yeah.
Drives around. And just another shot wide. Looks like that'll go the way of Newport on the back up.
Excellently followed there by Molly Dunham. You don't often see a goalie get the ball off a shot. So well done, and well done official for calling that. I know Macca's at home. We all know Macca. She'll be excited by that one, no doubt.
Both goalies have cleared well tonight. And yeah, Molly Dunham again hits the pass, but
yeah, she's been playing extraordinarily well.
They've got themselves out of it.
She needs to move the ball quickly here. I think that's and just can't make that passes, that connection in the transition again, and it's probably something that's just hindered them throughout this game. They really need to tighten up that transition. They need to get it into the players who can run the field, otherwise we're just not going to get through that Footscray defence. Footscray ride you as soon as you got the ball. It's one thing that they do so well. As soon as there's a turnover, their minds just snap straight away. All of them are into defence. All of them are putting pressure on. Ball's out with Emily Prentice. It's good defence there by Cassie White. Moves it on to Thea Quaz. She kicks it on to Sarah Mollison at the top. Back to Thea Quaz. She looks to drive. Well held there by Rashawn. You can see that she's just setting her body up. She's saying, I know you're a strong right-hand driver. I'm going to push you to your left, which she did. And then Thea Quaz didn't want to take that shot. So that's what they need to do. They need to keep playing smart. That was a great look there into Sarah Smith, who takes the shot. But Footscray still come up with it. They have had so much possession.
It's dominated the ball. Haven't let Newport have too much of it. But considering how much they have had, Newport wouldn't be too displeased.
No, I don't think they should be. I think they've done really well to keep them out. I think Molly Dunham's done a great job. A lot of the lifting there. Takes another shot. Gives it just too much there on the right. I think then again it's we talked about it earlier. Theo's pace. She's just like her acceleration is just rapid fire.
Definitely.
Just gets that extra inch on her defender, and she's able to take that shot cleanly and put it to the back of the net. And they're not missing too many. I think at the beginning there might have been some nerves, some jitters. Even the best players get nervous at the big stage events, and this is one of the biggest of them all. But they seem to have found the groove. There's not as many missed shots. They're much more clinical. And we've got a new centre player here, so we've got Jane White taken in the centre. Let's see if this kicks the ball any differently. Taylor's Commentators taken the wing. She marks up on Sarah Mollison, and we've got Elise Hussey and Sarah Smith on the other side. And it's out. Elise comes up with the ball. Hussey for Newport. And she's going to get a foul against Sarah Smith here. She takes it quickly. She comes back in. And again, great defence by Lachlan. You just see they just never give up. They just don't punish. And it's a foul there by Elise Hussey. Transition again. Footscray moving it up the field effortlessly. Moves it across to Thea Cross.
I think one thing that for Newport have to consider, Jess, as we 5 minutes into this third quarter, is they probably want to at least break even or win the quarter. I think to
still be in
they
it.
want to be probably within 3 goals, I think, going into the last quarter.
Yeah.
Give themselves the best chance. As Theo just goes again. And maybe she's seen that trophy to your right, Jess.
I think so.
I think I might like my name.
I wonder if she has. Maybe I waved it too high before. Has no name on it yet though. Still to play.
I think we've just got a timeout on the Newport box.
She's probably wanting to slow things down. I think with a player like Theo, you saw it then. The two players before, I think it was Rashawn Brady was set up on D, and she just kind of overplayed her right side, and Theo had no choice but to come back onto her left. And the last two, Theo, and she's shot both of them, she's just been given too much space in that right. And she is a player who you cannot give in that right. The acceleration in her, I think I've heard it described as like a stutter dodge, is just too good and too strong. So you've got to overplay her right.
Yeah, once you give her that space, she's going to take it, and
absolutely,
more often than not, will make you pay.
It's a pretty crowd here, pretty good crowd. Pretty quiet at the moment.
Yeah, probably just
getting a few
subdued
drinks
around.
Yes. The cold doesn't help, that's for sure. I hope those are watching from interstate, don't worry. Hopefully this is only for this week.
Yes.
but again, it's Melbourne, who knows?
Exactly. I think
your winter woolies.
I think we're playing all games during the day, so
okay.
I believe we avoid the night.
Hopefully there'll be some sun. Oh, that's a shame. I thought there were going to be some night games.
I could be wrong.
Okay, we'll have to get a fixture for you guys.
I'm just opening up my phone, but I'm not sure if my fingers are going to work, so stay with me.
Okay. End of the timeout, and we've got Jane White again taking the centre. Now it came out in the favour of Newport and cleaned up by Elise Hussey, so let's see if they can do that again. Straight up in the air. Jane White's height is too much. Beautiful control. It's what she does so well. And there was a push, an early push, and then a second by Sarah Smith. She raises her hands. She cannot believe it. But unfortunately, I would have to agree with our official there.
Yes.
Don't tell her.
We've just lost focus on there for a second, so we'll try and call you through it.
Oh, we're back.
There we go. We're back now.
Newport have got the ball as a shot.
It's another good chase down from one of our goalies.
Yeah. And the ball's out wide. I think it's Isabel Murphy who runs it down the side.
Might have been Sarah Molson, I think.
Oh yeah.
Jess.
Apologies.
Easy will take
Can't
credit
get
for her,
everything
though.
right.
Theo starting to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah. You can see there's just a little bit more body contact from both sides. They're just getting a little bit more pressured. They just want the ball. A bit more pushing, a bit more shoving. I like that. I like to see a little bit more physical contact.
Well, just on one of my points, what I was saying before, you can tell how much it means for the players out there.
Yeah.
For Rachel, with so much on the line coming up in the next couple of weeks, to get back out there and push through, it means so much.
Yeah. That was great. Is it Ebony Wood? I'm not sure.
Ebony Norman.
Ebony, yeah. She is just a player that we're going to see a lot from, I reckon. Just there, the composure she had. She took it in. She drew a few players, and she was able to draw the free shot. That's what we want to see. The confidence. Just getting a little bit of coaching from Theo. Take it here. Oof, good shot, but Molly Dunham again saves it.
She's been enormous so far, Molly.
Fancy that. My assistant commentator, working from the couch, has sent us through a fixture of the Senior Nationals. She's also one of the head coaches. Thank you, Maka. So, yes, day one, we are on the 8th of June here, and all matches by the look of it. We've got midday, 3 p.m, 1 p.m, 3 p.m. And with a few, the only kind of later match we've got is on day 3 on the 10th of June, which is a 4:30 match, and then we've got all finals on the Sunday the 12th of June, with the grand final being at 2 p.m, and that's for the women's.
Sorry to stop you there, Jess, but Theo's just run the length of the field and put that one in the back. And the whistle stopped her.
Apologies.
But no, she she's right on top here. Yeah, sorry. Back to the schedule.
Now let's see if Theo gets this shot. I don't think I can distract her. And she does. And she changes it up every time. That's the other thing as well. I think the last few have been high shots, and then that one's just a really nice low placement.
Yeah, four of Footscray's 9 goals so far, and if you'd asked me who I'd have leading for the best on at halftime, I probably would have lent towards maybe a Sarah Smith or maybe even a Lachlan in the middle. But I think Theo's just really taken the game apart now.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? Newport are thinking, I think, by the looks of it, that Jane White's doing a bit of a better job in the centre for them, based on this matchup.
We've seen it twice now, just her height just coming into an advantage.
That's it.
Looks like they've won the ball forward again.
And Newport in control at the centre. I think that's the last 3 that they've actually been able to get out of the centre, so that's good news for them. Yeah,
so great coaching there from the Newport box.
Although you do wonder why it wasn't changed up earlier. Like, if things aren't, working, it's not to say that it wasn't working against them. There's a shot there by Shelley String, a big save by Paige. But if things aren't, it's not necessarily that it's not working, because I don't think anyone was really coming out cleanly with it. But let's change it. Let's change it up earlier.
Get on top.
Yeah. And Footscray in their transition, there's not much pressure from the Newport team. They're just able to control it. I don't know whether they're kind of saving themselves for go all out in the settled play down here. Ball's been taken really wide. An unusual drop there by Theo.
You
wouldn't normally call it out, but she's just too good sometimes. Maybe that's it, the trophy's not hers anymore. Alright, well, let her have one. Looking to drive there by Sarah Morrison. She goes on her left. Sash is right there.
Great read on the play there from Rachel, but
Rachel
Kirchhoff.
Unfortunate not to come up with it, really.
And we're at a point in the game now where Footscray, with a 7-goal lead, we've obviously still got a quarter to play, but there's no need to put the foot down straight away. They can afford to manage some clock and just keep that ball on the outside and count down the minutes a little bit. There's Lane wide open.
Ooh, there's a strip there.
It's been probably a nearly night for Beck. She's been everywhere, but just hasn't quite been able to capitalise.
Got to look at here.
She just said, shut up. I'm going to move the ball forward down to Sarah Smith.
Oh, what a finish. She moves the goalie. She just makes the fake and then places it right over Molly's right shoulder there. It was as if Beck heard you there. She said, "Do you say what?" Hadn't seen enough of her, so she runs in, picks it up.
You can't keep her down for too long.
Absolutely. That was funny. I like that. She seems pretty pleased with herself as well.
If Beck does go back and watch this on the replay, I'm sorry, Beck.
That's it. He'll be ousted from the Christmas list now. Changing up the centre again as Taylor Comedo comes back in. Backline still taking the centres for Footscray. And did not go above the shoulders, so we will redraw. It feels like it's been a fairly well officiated match as well. It's always contentious,
Yes.
shall we say.
That's been good. They haven't had too much to get involved with either,
No,
so both
no.
teams playing pretty cleanly.
That's what you want. Having said that. See,
It'd be interesting if we see Newport trying to push out a little bit more deliberately soon. Obviously, 8 goals is a fair margin to catch up, but if they're to try and track it down, they've got to get that ball back and get it down the other end. So
I think they just need to be putting a bit more pressure. This is another phenomenal save by Molly.
that seems about the only way they're getting it back at the moment.
Yeah,
through
but
Molly
just
Dunham.
with this one, they need to look at at least gets an early break there. We're just going to see how Prentice approaches her. Ooh, it's a bit of a push. She's going to play advantage there. Ooh, and don't mind me. It's all right though. Elise Hussey is an experienced player. She doesn't need to succumb to the pressure or the oohs from the crowd of myself. And we've got Newport with a bit of possession here. This is what we want. Crowd is picking up. They want to see a goal. I want to see a goal. Do you want to see a goal?
So to do. Rachel Kirchheim is about to do the same, but just hits the outside of the
wide.
net. I've been really impressed by the clearing from our goalies tonight.
Yeah.
Jess just
Yeah.
really
Both
hitting those
goalies.
passes, and it's a really underrated part of a goalkeeper's game, I think. That
Yeah.
often we put so much value on the saves, which are obviously so important, but what they do when the ball's in their stick also just as important. The clock's on the field, so we're within about 10 seconds or so of the end of this quarter, and that will be that.
Here we go. All right, hang tight with us because it is 10 Footscray to Newport as we head in for the break ahead of the final quarter. Welcome back. We are ready for the final quarter. Footscray have a big lead. It's 10-2 in their favour over Newport as we line up here for the final quarter. But you never know. Finals have a funny thing. They surprise you. Let's see what happens in this one. It's a big centre. Great take there from Jane White. She's actually stepped up in the last couple of quarters, worked really well in the centre. Passes it over to Abby Burns, one of those younger players for Newport.
A double team comes, plenty of pressure.
Ooh, stick gets up.
Lost the stick there. We've got a whistle, we're going to take it back. Footscray going to take
right
the ball.
in the ball, she's going to clear it up.
Guess who on transition? Lacrosse.
Just casually jogging. And Footscray in control, like we've seen them so many times this match already.
It'll be interesting at what point we see Newport try and push and force that ball back.
They've got to take some risks.
A pipe there.
There we go. Molly's got the ball now in the cage. And she's just going to say, don't panic, don't rush. Holding on with it. I think most players coming up top. And there's Rachel Kirsheimer getting the lead. And she burns the player. Here she goes. That's the speed and the pace we have missed. She dodges 1, 2, 3. She wants to draw that free fall. She doesn't quite get it. Maybe next time.
Yeah, could that be the spark they
she
need?
Pops it back over to Sasha, up to Jane.
A great attack there.
She takes a shot. And they're coming back up with it. And that's the difference. We haven't seen them, take the shots and then come back up with it. Oh. Unfortunate shot there. Another unforced error. Cleaned up by Footscray. Over there by Ebony.
I think the message from Megan Mollison at three-quarter time would have been, we're up by 8, there's no need to do anything silly.
Yeah.
Just take care of the ball. We get those open looks,
What do you
take them.
reckon the message was from Chris Plum is coaching this year? He's done an awesome job.
I would have liked to have thought it would have been to push out and extend. We've got World Championship winning coach Max Madonia sitting next to us. Max, what do you think the message from Newport would have been? What the message for Newport at three-quarter time? What might have Chris Plum had said to his troops?
It's another goal there from Footscray. I think it was Ebony. Apologies, we were both distracted.
Yeah, just turning away for a second. But yeah, Max out of answers.
yeah. I feel like we're all out of answers at this stage, perhaps.
Anyway, I'll try and answer for Chris though. So yeah, probably really applying that pressure on ball.
Yeah.
Forcing those turnovers and.
I'm with you.
When you're in attack, maybe Footscray is still extending, so trying to pull them out and then expose that space and drive into it.
Yeah. They need to move the ball a little bit quicker just to, at the moment, potentially it's just too easy for Footscray just to hold them. Interesting draw there. Looked like Becklane let that happen. She let it kind of fly over her shoulder, but the risk with that, as we just saw, is that you don't get enough pressure going up, so we get called in for a redraw. Let's see what she does this time. Another interesting thing, because you've got a match up now in the circle with Sarah Smith and Rachel Kirsheimer. Nice heavy one in the air, and there she goes. Rachel Kirsheimer's got the ball, she's running down, she's got Chase on a tail as well. And that's Footscray, they just do not let up. They double, they pressure. Now she's going to come back to where the foul took place. She moves the ball to the centre. This is where they've got it. Where's the free player? They're getting the doubles and they're just not kicking it quick enough from what I can see. I mean, I'm no expert, but it's very easy to sit in this position
It
and
is.
have an opinion.
Yeah, Footscray is probably covering really well on that team
Yes,
defence, making it
yeah.
hard for that extra pass. At least Hussey, big wind up. Good piece there from Paige McGibbon.
Yep.
Gets it back.
Again, both goalies have been on fire tonight. It's pretty exciting for Victoria to see so many goalies doing so well.
Definitely.
Lachlan just runs those legs on, gets through multiple defenders and finds the back of the net. That's a great goal there.
Beck's probably thinking about time.
Yeah.
Still,
still. That was it. She's still bitter about your comment earlier.
She is. Still got a piece of Molly Dunham, just a little bit of stick there, but quick enough to worm burn into the back of the net.
Yes. I don't know how many players she went through. Probably about 5. Then I reckon that was. You don't want to be on the back burner if she's already clocked up that speed. She was full pace then.
So 10 goals now, 9 minutes to play.
Yep.
I think we're pretty much home and host, Jess. I think it's
potentially, yes. I don't want to say it
I'm probably going to call it. I think it's pretty difficult from here. Still giving her a chance.
Whoa! Oh, I just want it. You just want a close game.
Yes, it would be.
You just want to win. Lacrosse.
Yeah. Spot on. I think one of the positives we've seen from Newport though is that even though the scoreboard might not reflect it, they have been more competitive and
you've seen they've had a lot more of the ball in the last quarter, I think, than they have.
It's Paige McGibbon once again.
She took the shot. She did get clear. She did have a good shot there, but Paige.
Tell you what, Paige might be putting her hand up to for that best on trophy potentially. Just conceding only the 2 goals so far. It's a mighty effort in the grand final.
And Footscray put it in the back of the net. Number 15, is it?
Quite
sharing the love around.
Definitely. We don't have a number 15 on our team sheet, so apologies.
Imposter! No, I'm joking. I think it's... Is it...
Good.
So we'll take it back to the centre now. The crowd are getting involved. Everything's happening now. I'm just jealous. Looks like he's got a nice beer there. Looks cold and fizzy. Although probably red wine is a much better choice right now. We're going to change it up. We've got Rachel Kersham, she's going to give it a crack. And we all know what she can do in the centre. Her strength. Let's see what we get here. And Beck Lane again comes from nowhere and just picks it up off the floor. It was a good centre though by Rachel. She got it to where she wanted to. Missed pass there. A rare unforced error from Footscray. I think that's why they're so good. They're just so... You don't see many unforced errors. They're just clinical. Moving it out from Newport now. And you can see still chasing. And there you go, another intercept by Beck Lane. She definitely heard her. She is all over it for the last 10 minutes, I reckon.
She has, yeah. It's fantastic. I think Megan Mollison's just there's some pressure on that back corner. I think Megan Mollison's just sharing the love a little bit amongst the team. Came in with a full bench tonight, so a couple of the players that might not have seen too much game time finally getting a run, and they'll enjoy this last 5 minutes or so. If I was to hazard a guess, Jess, I'm going to say that's Aurelia Milan, number 15. I could be wrong, but that's who I would lean towards.
It's good to see some fresh faces come through the ranks as well, which is what we like.
It's Mahiri Damabandu now with the ball.
coming from the top. Mollison now. It's good defense by Newport, but unfortunately they just leave that bottom corner free, and it's too easy there by Ebony Norman, number 13.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of number changes from their
Oh, okay,
from the
sorry.
season. So Ebony was out there in
Yeah.
4 tonight. That's what just thrown us a little bit late in the stages here, but
Yeah. As I reckon we come into the final 5 minutes of this grand final. So Footscray, the minor premiers of the 2022 season, and it looks like they're going to be the final crown champions. But you never know. Keep hanging in there. Watchers at home, don't turn off so yet. I think a reason to keep watching and just watch is all these players as well. They work so hard, and just to see their skill and effort, you can always learn something from them.
yeah, while we've got a couple of minutes just towards the end of the game, just, I guess congratulations to all the teams this season. It hasn't been easy having such a condensed season, but they've all battled through it well and
Yes,
done fantastic work, especially coming off a couple of COVID interrupted seasons.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an easy couple of years for multiple reasons in Victoria and lacrosse, particularly women's. So
this is the first grand final in 3 years.
yes, yeah.
So it's a pretty momentous occasion, you know, regardless of the score tonight. I think it's probably easy to forget what's happened over in Victoria for the last couple of years. As the Aquas lines up to take yet another free from the top of the fan. And a big save there from Molly. She has really done herself proud tonight. Yeah, I think it's been really hard, and I mean, I'm across a lot of the things in the background, but you know, numbers are not where we want them to be, and I think that's across the board. You know, even in the lower grades, we're lacking a few teams, but there's huge numbers in the juniors, and that's where we need it. We need the growth in the juniors. We need everyone out there supporting, getting the game out. We need some quick sticks working, and it's another goal there from Theo Kos. Yeah, so I feel like we're back on. It's been a painful few years, but it feels like we're getting back onto a good trajectory. I think this Women's State League, just taking back to this competition in particular, there's been some really exciting games. Like I think the first match between Williamstown and Newport was a draw.
Yeah.
I won't mention that it wasn't meant to be a draw. We're not actually allowed draws in our home and away matches, but don't worry about that. Thank God Williamstown ended up beating the Vic Selects in the end, because I don't know what would have happened if it was a draw. Anyway, and then we also, I mean, I was part of a team that we only had one Aussie player. I mean, granted it was Beck Lane, but we managed to put in the win against Newport as well. So there's been some really, really good matches, some upsets. The gap feels like it's closing. It's going in the right direction. I think we've seen Williamstown have really put in a big effort this year. They've had a few new players. So we know Nellie Mollison has moved over to Williamstown. That's been a huge impact. So Ellen Stannis is also over there as well. And there's some players returning as well. So just excited to see what happens after next season now. And I guess the other good thing with the season finishing up is that A grade gets a little bit of time in the sun as well to see what can happen in those leagues.
Exciting times all around.
Looks like we're down on our clock anyway to the last minute.
So who's your tip for the best on, Jess? If you had to pick one,
I think
tough job.
Theo
Yeah.
has just been all over it today. She's probably my top pick.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think when the game was there to be won in the third quarter, obviously they had a comfortable lead, but being able to consolidate that and set in the comfortable position they're in. Beck just another shot wide. Chase there from Jesse Cullen Vandenberg. Yeah, I'd have to agree, and really steered this side to the lead they're in now and to another premiership.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would be your close seconds? I think from Newport,
Look,
Molly
I think
Dunham
Molly
is
Dunham
like,
probably deserves the second best on ground, to be honest. I mean,
She's,
this 15 could have been a lot higher.
Yeah.
And it probably has slipped a little bit in this quarter and late in the third, but
yeah, absolutely.
This could have been a very different looking scoreline
Couldn't agree more.
had Molly not had the night she had.
Yeah. We saw a lot from Sarah Mollison in the first quarter and the second
did.
quarter, but I think she's kind of quietened down and let other people shine a bit more perhaps in the last night. Having said that, she heard me.
And it probably shows that just
Ooh.
the player, there's so many great players out there that they can rely on each other, and
yeah, exactly.
you don't have to be there for carrying the whole team for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
It's a real team effort. And see if Newport can get one more here. No, they can't.
It. It's all over. Red Rover here at Angliss Reserve in Footscray. We have 15-2. Footscray take the win, take the W, and the silverware is there.
Congratulations to Megan Mollison, Danielle Lane, the coaching staff at Footscray, all of the players. Esther Lavelle unfortunately missed today, but she's led for them all season.
Absolutely, I'm sure they want it for her as well.
9-0 coming into this game. They make it a perfect 10 with this win, and I think that probably sums up their season. Jess?
Yeah, I think so. I think this team, and also they're really young, so it would be exciting to see what happens over the next few years. And also huge congrats to Newport. They've had a tough season with so many injuries. A really tough season. Isn't tonight? Like you can see 3 of their best players. One did eventually get on the ground, but it's been a really tough season, and they've been there all the way through.
Yeah, certainly a lot to be proud of, and like you said, there's a lot of young players out there. That's one of the most exciting things, and how many years to come we'll be seeing the likes of Abby Burns and Mia Haynes and Ebony Norman and players like that, Paige McGibbon, years and years to come. So, it's so exciting.
And now, I guess, we'll be doing awards shortly.
Yeah, we might take a quick break then, Jess, while we get the awards going. We'll just, I think these Footscray girls are about to give their cheers, so we might just hang around for that, and then we'll have a quick break, and we'll be back for the presentations, I believe.
Fab. Thanks, everyone, for watching along.
We'll see you shortly for the Premiership Trophy presentation. for our presentations here. Hopefully our microphones can pick up the microphones, but we'll just talk through it. So we've got our co-commentator Jess Symonds here. So as we predicted, Lacrosse is our MVP for the grand final. 5 goals at least, we believe. On our record, she had 5. Fantastic game from Theo. Well done, Theo.
And I'd ask Jess to remain as she presents the officials with their medals. Amy Basil. Thank you, Amy.
Just presenting our officials with their awards now. Looks like they're getting out the cold. No, they're back here.
Linda and Leanne Kevin, thanks very much.
Well officiated game this evening.
And I'd like to call up Stacey from Newport just to say a few words for us.
Stacey Morlang from Newport just having a few words. Hopefully we can hear this.
Well, first of all, thanks Footscray for hosting. It's a nice vibe out here. We've got a shop when we saw how epic it looks. And secondly to that, congratulations to Footscray. That was a bloody great game. And you deserve to win. It was a great effort, and there were pockets there that were just beautiful to watch. So well done. And to our crazy clan over here, we've had a bloody good time this year with a bunch of girls that are just up for the challenge, always up for the work, and it's just a good time to be around and coach and play with. So thank you for a great time this year.
So in summary, I'm not sure if you could catch that, but just thanking Footscray for hosting,
I'd like to call
the
up
opponents for a great game, and her own team for a fantastic season. Said that she had a lot of fun.
to present the medallions to all of the players.
Megan Mollison presenting
Round of applause to Megan Mollison.
her players with their Premiership medals now.
Again, thank you to Footscray for putting on tonight and Newport for another great season. It's so great to see some youth up and coming, not only in your team, we've got some in our team, and of course, it'd be remiss of me not to mention the big selects this year, and everyone who put in the effort behind the scenes to get that team on, and also the girls that really just embraced the concept, and I think lacrosse in Victoria is only better for it, so well done. I'd like to thank my girls who we've been waiting a couple of years for this, so it's a really nice way to finish off this season that's been so erratic. I'd like to thank the young girls that we're bringing through who really stood up today and just taken everything on. I'm just so proud of all of you, so well done. Sarah Smith.
Sarah Smith, Esther Lavelle, captain, unfortunately missing today, but great leader this season. Paige McGibbon, one of the better players in the grand final. Fair course, your MVP. Rebecca Lane, also an amazing effort. Using Murphy back from an ACL this year, great effort. Emily Prentice,
Stacey
Stacey
Wright.
Wright,
Greta
Greta
Murphy.
Murphy,
Abby
Abby
Yu.
Yu,
Jessie Carolyn Vandenberg.
Jessie Carolyn Vandenberg,
Aurelia
Aurelia
Milan.
Milan,
Marley Kukucha.
Marley Kukuchka,
Mahiri Dharma Bandhu.
Mahiri Dharma Bandhu. Megan got there in the end, well done. Ebony Norman. And this one's probably going to be pretty emotional for Megan.
And Sarah Mollison.
Sarah Mollison. Nella Lane, assistant coach.
Melinda Smith,
Melinda Smith, manager and scorer.
Bradley Mollison,
Brad, the hero of the Footscray Lacrosse Club. And Megan, of course. There it is, your 2022 Women's State League Premiership team.
And I'd like to call up Sammy Ahmed, who's going to present the Premiership Cup to the Footscray captain, coach, and the team. Thank you.
Sam Ahmed, one of the long-time players. Oh, Bradley, here we go. Bradley's in the mix as well. There we go, Brad, well done. Sam Ahmed, one of the long-time players at Footscray, presenting the Premiership trophy to Esther Lavelle
From Footscray, you would like to come forward and celebrate
and Beck Lane.
accordingly.
Congratulations to the Footscray Lacrosse Club. Dominant all season. Dominant in the grand final. 15-2 winners tonight. Thank you to Jess Symonds for your help co-commentating this evening. Thank you to Ben and Jess Stone for their help behind the camera and producing. Thank you to Scott Evans-Gill from South Australia and the Australian Lacrosse Network for his help as well. To everyone for tuning in, we hope to bring you more lacrosse in Victoria live over the coming months. Stay tuned for next week as we bring you the Senior Nationals here from the Footscray Lacrosse Club. But for now, Footscray are the 2022 Premiers. Good night.